What's up, everybody? Brett Mix here, back for the Monday Night Wars. We take a look at the WWF side for this video. We review in under 10 minutes. Hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying these reviews. Plus, you can check out the reviews since I archived them, so you don't have to follow along right away. You can watch the Monday Night Wars whenever you feel like it, up to it. And they're always going to be archived in the Nitro and Raw sections by year, so you can follow along just like that. This is the 214th episode of Raw and its history. Ratings for this week's Raw were 2.2. Not very good because Nitro scored a 3.4. So Nitro wins by 1.2 this week. And it's the 49th week in a row WCW has beaten the WWF. So after this week's loss, the total record for the World Wrestling Federation in the Monday Night Wars are 17 wins, 67 losses, and 2 draws. So 17 wins, 67 losses, and 2 draws through the 86 weeks they've battled Nitro one-on-one. This Raw went live on TSN in Canada, on the USA Network in America on June the 9th, 1997, from Hartford's Civic Center in Hartford, Connecticut, the former building of the NHL's old Hartford Whalers, who are now the Carolina Hurricanes. If anybody cares about that, about hockey, I certainly do. Vince McMahon and Jim Ross are on commentary. Pyros go off and we get welcomed. The King has lost his voice from the night before, because the night before was the King of the Ring and he just lost his voice on that pay-per-view. He also wrestled. Austin is scheduled to face Pillman tonight. Goldust is a European title shot versus the Bulldog, and we open up with a Thorn in Your Eye and Pyro. Opening contest is the Ahmed Johnson, the Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal versus the Nation of Domination. Crush, Farouk, and Savio Vega. They've been having their problems as of late, has the Nation. Big Band says, you only see this kind of crazy, the fans, in the WWF. I don't know about that. Nitro was pretty damn crazy this same week. Was Sting coming down, and then Nitro had WCW and NWO brawling all around. Look out for my Nitro review from the week 86 of the Monday Night Wars on my channel. It was a great Nitro. You can see why the ratings were 3.4 to 2.2 for Nitro. Farouk did the salute, but Savio Vega didn't do the Nation salute. So Farouk's a little bit peeved by that. They argue a little bit. Farouk reluctantly tagged from Crush after the LOD took him apart. Ahmed came in and both guys went at it. Eventually, Savio and Crush left Farouk out there, and then Ahmed won with the Pearl River Plunge. So Ahmed and the LOD win the 6-man at 5:30. I gave it a 1.5 star, and Farouk is not happy with his other members of the Nation. More on that later. Triple H, the new King of the Ring, has a promo with Vince McMahon in the center of the ring. He unloads of how this should have happened 1 year ago, Triple H becoming king. That's a shoot. That's a work shoot. He was supposed to win King of the Ring 96, but because of the curtain call with him hugging Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, of course, Stone Cold got the win. But look at how that ended up working out for the WWF. Stone Cold was the better choice. But anyways, Triple H paid his dues, and the next year he won it. And Triple H was saying that McMahon's politics, he did a work shoot on Vince in the middle of the ring, saying your politics is the reason why this didn't happen a year ago. All of a sudden, Mankind popped up on the Titantron, and the fans kind of cheered, as he's still a little bit of a heel, still a little bit of a face. And the fans cheered, and Chyna then got on the microphone for the first time and said, Mankind, why don't you come down here and kiss my ass? And Mankind says, you're in luck because I'm a good kisser. It comes down. I was thinking that was Chyna's first line ever on the mic because the crowd was stunned. And Chyna just sounded very awkward when she said it, especially such an awkward line to say. Why don't you come and kiss my ass? A female saying that to a male, it's weird. Bulldog, the European champion, took on Goldust. Bulldog defending, I believe, for the first time. I believe it was for the first time that the Bulldog is defending this European title. Nonetheless, Goldust is going at it with Marlena in his corner. Bulldog was pinned, but Tim White saw his feet on the ropes, so the pin didn't work. Bulldog couldn't get Goldust out of a headlock. Bulldog and Goldust wrestle all around the ring. Bulldog and Goldust went to a double count out outside of the ring at 7:30. I gave the match 2 stars. Marlena jumped over Goldust because Bulldog was going to hit him with a chair, but all of a sudden Ken Shamrock came out and gave Bulldog a suplex. Behind a German suplex from behind. So Shamrock took off his shirt like he was about to fight the Bulldog, so that's the beginning of their feud. Doc Hendricks says all hell is breaking loose in the Nation's locker room, and he can't get inside, but Farouk storms out and says he's going right to the ring to conduct business. come back from the commercial, Farouk says that he goes on a long rant about why this is happening, but then he fires Savio Vega from the Nation. He fires Crush from the Nation. He fires Clarence Mason and the bodyguards from the Nation. The rappers aren't out there, but they're fired from the Nation. The only person that's not fired from the Nation besides Farouk is D'Lo Brown, a young prodigy. Farouk promises the new Nation will take control, and then the next week they'll face The Undertaker and Ahmed Johnson if they accept the challenge. Speaking of a tag team match, Headbangers are taking on Furnace and LaFawn next. Furnace and LaFawn proclaim themselves as the most exciting tag team in WWF history. Furnace and LaFawn, if you're new to these reviews, they're like the Revival, or they're like what's another good example of two technically sound wrestlers that are just great in the ring, but maybe DIY, but they don't have charisma. Not saying DIY doesn't have charisma, but they don't have. They're like two Dean Malenkos in there, and they kind of poke fun at that. Headbangers win at 3:38 after LaFawn smashed into Furnace. Thrasher got the 3 count, rated at almost 2 stars, a star and 3/4. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out to begin hour 2 as he showed that they're showing clips of him flushing Pillman's face down the toilet at King of the Ring. He says the only thing he's mad about this is that the toilet didn't have any contents in it, and I think you know what I'm talking about. And McMahon said, "Oh, please." Austin says he and HBK got through last night, still champions, but he'll kick Pillman's ass and then stunner him, carry to the back. Austin gets cheered big time here. Austin says he will stampede all of the Hart Foundation's ass on them at the road to Canadian Stampede. This Austin promo went up against Hollywood Hogan versus Lex Luger, so Nitro had the advantage here, even though Austin was gaining big numbers for the USA Network. RVD with the King took on Flash Funk, both former ECW guys here. Paul Heyman and Tommy Dreamer were in the crowd, and afterwards, Heyman tackles Lawler. RVD wins with the split-legged moonsault again over Flash Funk, 2 stars for that match. So Heyman and Lawler went at it. Psycho Sid took on Owen Hart with Jim Neidhart, non-title match. Sid was so over. Sid is God signs. Owen plays such a good heel and works on the legs of the bigger man, cutting down his vertical base, but Owen ended up getting a choke slam off the side of the ropes, and Sid wins at 4:11 in a non-title match. Why did Owen have to simply lose clean here? He's the Intercontinental Champion. He lost clean versus Bob Holly 3 weeks before this. It seems a little irrelevant to complain about his booking now that he's been gone for over a quarter of a century, but it still didn't make any sense. Then they finished the Mankind Jim Ross sit-down segments. This was the one that got personal, the one where Mick Foley grabbed Jim Ross with the mandible claw and kept it locked on him. Things got really personal, and you got to see the inside of Mankind's psyche, as complex as that is. JR apologizes and takes professional responsibility for pushing the envelope with his questions. Next, Rockabilly with the Honky Tonk Man took on Bart Gunn. They mentioned that these guys still are brothers. Rockabilly was never going to work, for being honest. Billy Gunn with a Fameasser he calls the Rocker Dropper, and then a swinging neck breaker hits the mark, and he wins at 252. I gave it 3/4 of a star. Austin comes out for his match with Pillman, but Austin is attacked by the Hart Foundation. It was 4-on-1. Bret Hart hasn't been on the show. Mankind then took on Brian Pillman in the main event instead of Austin, so it came down to Foley and Pillman, and the fans weren't really on Foley's side yet because they still were treating him like a heel and a face, and McMahon even mentioned that on commentary. This segment went up against the NWO and WCW brawling with Sting coming down, so it was never going to get the audience that you would have had Austin been in the main event. At 5 minutes, Mankind won by DQ after Owen and the Bulldog attacked Mankind from behind. Austin comes back out and stunners everybody, and then even stuns Ken Shamrock, who came out to protect Mankind from the Hart Foundation. Gave that a star and a quarter. After the match, Austin then stuns Ken Shamrock for good measure, just for the hell of it. Stone Cold just wants to stun everyone. I liked how they made Stone Cold's character not get weakened when he became a face. I like how they had him stay the same. This episode scores a quality rating of 4.5 out of 10 because it lacked major star power, if we're being honest. It was the night after the King of the Ring, so maybe that's why. But Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, even Austin was supposed to wrestle in the main event. That got taken away. It wasn't terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but it just wasn't very good overall. So I rated it a 4.5 out of 10. So the scoreboard now after 86 weeks is 17 wins for Raw, 67 losses again, and 2 draws. Thanks to everyone watching along. I hope everyone is enjoying the review and going back and reliving the Monday Night Wars. Hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying these. I'm Brett Mix, and we'll see you on the next Monday Night Raw review. I'm out.